back to Maximize Your Potential. Brian Sexton with Captain Rick Hoffman from Orion Solutions. Captain Rick, how are you?
Good to see you, Brian.
I know the story. Tell the story of how you got the nickname Captain Rick.
Okay, well...
Besides 28 years in the Navy.
Well, I'm a captain and my name is Rick. It's real simple, Brian.
Well, why did I ask?
I lured you into that one.
Thank you.
No, when I first retired from the Navy, I'm back at the gym at Bailey's on Beach Boulevard, and all of my daughter's friends had graduated from college and come back. And they didn't want to call me Rick because I was Chris's dad. Yeah. And I didn't want them to call me Mr. Hoffman because spandex. Yeah. So we picked Captain Rick, and I used that. And then in 2010, I was asked by the Navy to represent them on the movie set of Battleship.
Right.
And in order to differentiate myself from both the studio and from the other parts, there's so many moving parts in a movie set and so many people moving around, I wanted everyone to know who I was. And so I created the Captain Rick persona at that point. And so everyone from Liam Neeson to Alexander Skarsgård to Peter Berg called me Captain Rick throughout the movie, and I kept it.
Listen,
it's fun.
If you've got a persona that you've had all these years, you have maximized your potential, right? I mean, you have so many moving parts, from Orion Solutions to the Captain Rick Industries. You deal with ships and
ship repair and training.
How have you become so proficient at keeping so many balls in the air?
Well, I have a team that came together, as I mentioned. They came together basically in 2008. They're people that I knew on active duty.
It's always about the team, isn't it?
It's always about the team. It's always about the team. And they share a vision. My vision is this. Orion Solutions' core business is I take old, experienced sailors, and I put them on a podium in a Navy schoolhouse. Yeah. And they teach young sailors how to use their weapon systems and sensors so that they can grow to be old sailors. All the stuff you're seeing right now in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden with Mayport ships, Kearney, Hudner, Milius, I mean, Mayport ships. These are kids we've touched, we've trained, and they are doing an incredible job. Incredible job. So I'm passionate about making sure that the ships are safe for the sailors by training the sailors. Right. The other piece of that is the ship has to be well maintained. So my other job is as the executive director of the Jacksonville Area Ship Repair Association. So I represent industry, all the guys from cleaning the bilges to the guys who tweak the combat system set, all those industrial partners. I help represent them back to the Navy and to the city.
Listen, the passion that comes through in your answer must be the driving force. It must it must make it much easier to have a lot of balls in the air when you're passionate about all of it.
Exactly, and I've got a team that is as passionate. The president of my company, Rylan Remy, was a senior enlisted person on Way City when I took command. He was with me as we tried to bring the ship back to life after it was basically a science project. Right. And shortly after I took command, 9/11 happened. He's the guy that actually brought me the news that 9/11 had just occurred. We were off the coast of Mayport doing some training. And this one of the things I tell people, in my world, anytime you cross a sea buoy going to sea, you don't know how your day is going to end up. We left that day to do a brief training evaluation, and then we were going to go to Puerto Rico for training. The next morning, I woke up off the coast of Norfolk, Virginia, establishing an air defense corridor to protect America from a second attack. So you never know how your day is going to end, and you have to be prepared. You have to be trained. You have to be ready, and that's what I do. I want to make sure the ships are ready and the people are ready to operate the ships.
How does your training, for lack of a better term, but I know that's what you do with Orion Solutions, training these young sailors to become old sailors. How does it transition them when they're ready to do what you did, retire after a long career and come out into the public sector and start their next career?
Well, it's not going to surprise you, but I've created my own persona back into Mayport Naval Station as the go-to guy for those that want to transition and stay in the area. Right. So almost every retired captain, many retired commanders, I was stopped at a conference in Washington 3 years ago, and a three-star. Now, I knew her when she was much younger, but she stopped me and says, you know, Rick, my husband and I are going to move back to Jacksonville. I'm told I have to check in with you. I said,
that's great.
I love that's the way it looked. Right. It's not even close to
Did she think you were the mayor of Jacksonville Beach? Is that
no,
what she figured at the time?
She's out of Fleming Island, but she knew that I had spent, as I mentioned to you, I retired in 2003 because my wife had cancer and I was going to stay home. I had no intention of starting a business. I had no intention of expanding. I knew how that part of my chapter was going to end. And so I studied. I grew up in the Army. Yeah. I spent most of all my Navy career moving around, so I didn't know how to have a hometown. So I studied being a hometown guy with military precision. I studied Jacksonville, joined the chamber, got involved with the Navy League, got involved with the University of North Florida, got involved with the cities, made myself at home in Jacksonville. Got both of my kids settled here for high school.
Yeah.
Gave them that stability that I did not have. I went to 3 different high schools.
That's
So,
amazing.
oh yeah. So I gave them that opportunity, and they've immersed themselves so much in the hometown of Jacksonville Beach that Chris is, of course, the mayor.
And an amazing mayor at that. Hey, last thought. Admiral Kevin Delaney, who
Yeah.
I'm sure you came across,
Yeah.
was, God rest his soul, was a dear friend of mine as well, always talked about the value of being a Mayport sailor. Right?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
He thought this was a place where every sailor could maximize their potential. God knows you have. God knows he did. How about a tip for somebody who might be watching this, transitioning from working in the military to their own gig?
Well, not just Mayport. Let's talk about Jacksonville
Okay.
at large. Mayport, of course, is a unique Navy base. There's 5 major fleet installations, and we're the middle one.
Okay.
So we have the beauty of some size, but we're also small. So it's very intimate, but it has some benefits of size from the perspective of having job opportunities here. You wouldn't have that in Pearl Harbor or Pacific Northwest. Norfolk and San Diego are too large and messy. Okay.
Right.
So, and we've got one of the few cities that has a Veterans and Military Affairs position in the city government that has a cabinet level position.
Yeah.
Harrison Conyers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Very
yeah.
well.
And they're and,
Good
and
man.
so this is a must-do place for any veteran who wants to settle here. Absolutely couldn't endorse it more highly.
So now let's give someone something to chew on.
Okay.
Right? You left the Navy.
Yes.
You had no intention of doing what you're doing, and you're maximizing your potential ad nauseum.
Yeah.
I mean, to the 10th degree. Somebody who's looking for their next step, transitioning out of the military in North Florida, which is an amazing place, give us a tip, something they have to do in order to be successful.
Well, when you come to see me, don't do it while you're on terminal leave. Start a year out.
Okay.
Plan it the same way you would plan a deployment. Plan it the same way you would plan for any other aspect of your career or for ship planning. Give it a year, understanding that you have started much of what you're going to benefit from. You've already done. Most of the people you're going to meet and interact with, you've already met. Reestablish those relationships. Establish a presence. LinkedIn is what I use,
Yeah.
but establish that presence. Rebuild that network. And I spend every Monday morning now, even today. I call it running my trap lines. I'll go through my archive of emails. I'll see who I haven't talked to in a while. And I say, hey, I talked to you back in January. How's the job hunt going?
Yep.
Okay? Because not only will that person recognize I'm an asset for them, that I'm watching them, but they're also, okay. I say this all the time. I'm a guest lecturer in leadership at University of North Florida. I'm on the Student Affairs Community Council. I've adopted North Florida as my academic focus. It's not who you know. It's how you know who you know. It's how you treat the people you meet. It's not a good old boy network. It's who you trust. So when the Navy was looking for somebody to go be on the set of Battleship, the senior public affairs officer of the Navy was a guy named Denny Moynihan. When he was a lieutenant commander and I was a captain, we worked with each other. He knows me. How many other captains does he know? Hundreds. But he called me because it's how you know who you know. It's who do you trust.
How you know, and who you trust. Let's leave on those words. Thank you for joining me today.
A real pleasure.
We've
Good
got
seeing you
much
again,
more
Brian.
to converse about.
I look forward to it.
You'll be back.
All right.
And that will do it for this edition. We'll be back with more Maximize Your Potential. Have a great day.